Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing this evening? Hope everyone is doing great tonight. I see a whole bunch of people already have chimed in and are in the chat room. And I hope you guys are excited about today's topic. I was doing research on different type of embroidery design styles. And I had no idea of how many different styles they are out there. And a lot of styles I was familiar with, but I was looking at some of them and I was like, you know what? That is true. It's something different. And I'm really excited about tonight's topic because I really feel like, it's something that kind of, is interesting because when people think of embroidery, right away they just think about oh, and I forgot to do a tech check to make sure you guys can hear and see me okay. So let's see, I'm looking through the chat and I don't see anybody saying I can't hear you. So I'm assuming you guys are hearing me okay. Because I don't want to start rambling and all that kind of stuff. And then you guys didn't hear anything. Awesome. Thank you, Robin. Thanks so much for that check. Appreciate it. Love your nail polish. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying different stuff now, So guys, I was thinking about embroidery, right? And there are just so many different things that we do with embroidery. And I wanted to talk to you guys about 14 different embroidery styles that people do. Okay. And, some of us do some of these, some of us do all of these, but they're really neat little styles. And it's stuff that really kind of like sets you apart from other folks. Right. And there's just so many different things that you can do with embroidery. And I really wanted to share these 14 different styles that I found because I find them very fascinating how all the different styles kind of, are different from one another. Okay. So I do have a hard stop for tonight. Okay. Because I promised my husband that I was going to spend time with him because last week, unfortunately, he was in the backyard and he started a little, not a bonfire. I don't know what you call it, a little fire in the deck. And he was kind of hoping that I would join him and have some wine. I told him, I promise I will finish on time today and I would spend some quality time with him. But one of the things I want to talk in much detail, and 10 minutes before the hour is up, I will go through the chat because you guys know that I really like to interact with everybody and answer questions and all that kind of stuff. So let's start rocking and rolling. Okay. All right. The first one, okay, is one that a lot of us are very, very familiar with, and that is the embroidery filled designs. Okay. Now, what am I talking about when I mean embroidery filled designs? I'm going to show you guys samples, okay, of each of the different embroidery styles that I found. So that way you guys can, know what I'm talking about. Because I am a visual learner and stuff, and I really like to show everybody everything. So embroidery filled designs is designs that are all complete stitches, okay? Now, this is an example of what an embroidery filled design would be, okay? As you can see, when you look at the design, okay, let me get a little stick here. Sorry, I should have got this earlier. All right, there you go. All right, so that way we can look at this stuff in detail. If you look at this design, okay, am I turning it upside down? Okay, there you go. This is nothing but stitches throughout the whole thing, okay? So what this is called, when you see this kind of style, it's called an embroidery filled design, which means that it is completely filled with nothing but stitches, okay? So that is the first one. And I think we as embroiderers are very, very familiar with this design because this is nothing but stitches, just different colors and stuff like that. And it's just all filled in, right? Okay. Now, the second embroidery design that we do, maybe what I should do is move this little table over here so that I can plop the things in there as I finished. Hold on, just give me 1 second. All right. Sometimes you think of stuff, but you don't really realize it till the, till later on. Anyway, okay, applique. All right, applique is very, very it's very, very popular. The reason why applique is very popular is because instead of the design being filled with stitches, you're kind of combining stitches with fabric or some other type of material. Fabric is usually the most popular material that people use, but people also use heat vinyl transfer, and they also use other types of vinyls as well. And there have been times when I have seen people use leather, or if you guys watched the video where I did my VCU shirt, that was actually done with a towel. So let me show you some examples of what an applique design would be. Okay. This is one for Halloween. Okay. Now, as you can see, this right here is the fabric, okay? This right here around the outline, that's the stitches. If you look real closely, you're going to notice that the orange part is shiny. That shiny part was done with heat vinyl transfer, okay? Now, this is pretty popular. It's because to me, it saves you a lot of time, and sometimes it saves you a lot of thread. The reason why it saves you a lot of thread is because a lot of these big spaces you see in some of these designs have, you fill this with fabric or heat vinyl transfer, or some people do leather, and all different types of materials can be used as the part. Now, there's 3 steps usually for this type designs. First, you have your placement, you have your tack down, and then you have your final stitch, which is usually satin, but you do see some designs that have the zigzag stitch, okay? Now, the satin stitch is what you see on the edge. Sometimes they don't do the satin stitch like this, where it's like a solid stitch like that. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll do like a little zigzag stitch, okay? And so, but this is called an applique, all right? Very easy to use, and I do have a video on how to do this. I think I called it Applique 101, something like that, okay? Now, another one that's really, really popular, that's in another embroidery design, is called sketch embroidery. Sketch embroidery is where the embroidery is nothing but stitches, but the density is not as thick, okay? Like, for instance, this is an example of a sketch design. And I'm going to put this close so that you guys can see. Now, as you can see, when you look at the thread, you're going to see between the thread, you do see the fabric. And the reason why is because it's not a very dense design. Now, these are pretty popular for the simple fact that they don't take as long to embroider as it would if you had an embroidery fill design. Embroidery fill designs are something that is like patches and stuff like that, where, let's see. Hold on, I want to show you so that you can see the difference. Okay, like this right here it is all embroidery filled. Okay, the whole background is stitched. The initials are stitched. The edges is stitched. So these usually take a very long time to stitch out because it's nothing but complete stitches. Okay, as for the sketch designs, they're nothing but stitches, but the thing is that it's not exactly very, very dense. Okay, so it's not like a complete solid stitch. Don't know if I'm making sense, but if you take a look at the design, and you could see, like, look at the blue right around here. Oh, I don't know if I'm pointing it right. Okay, there you go. See where I'm pointing right here? Look at the blue. See how the spacing is? If I put it up close, see? It's like you see the stitches and stuff. But the thing is, if you look at it from afar, okay, you could see what the design is. It's a little train with crayons and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, the design is not very dense. So these are pretty popular for the simple fact that it takes less stitches to create these designs. Okay, so this is called sketch embroidery, okay? Now, another type of embroidery, which you don't see a lot of, but I know that I had tried it out and I made the error of using the fonts that were way too small because it didn't look good with small fonts. So if you use this type of embroidery and you're using it for fonts, my recommendation is try to at least use something that's 2.5 to 3 inches big, okay? And that's called fringe embroidery. Now, what fringe embroidery is like this. Okay, this is fringe embroidery. All right. So the way that this works is that it embroiders across. Okay, and then at the end they put a stitch right between, and then in the back of your embroidery, you would take a steam ripper, seam ripper, not a steam ripper, seam ripper, and then you would go ahead and you would just cut off the bobbin in the back. Okay, once you cut off the bobbin in the back, then these will loosen up. And let me get up from the chair so that I can show you guys real quick. If you see at it real quick, these are fringe. There you go. See how they move? See how they move? They're like little fuzz. These are really, really cute and they're really popular and stuff. Now I have these are the fonts, okay? And these are the fringe, I think, yeah, it's fringe fonts. That was a tongue tie for me, guys. Okay. So these are really cute. I have seen some people use this technique of stitching on like birds, animals, like the pink flamingo, okay? And usually the body of the flamingo, they'll use this type of stitching to the body of it, and then they'll cut it up so that way the flamingo can have like a little fuzz and stuff like that. It's really popular with designs such as that. But the package that I bought were the fonts. And when I first tried this one, I tried it on a sweatshirt and I did Latina on it. And it came out really cute. But then what ended up happening was I used a small font. And when I used a small font and you saw the little fuzz, I couldn't really read the letters very clear. So I thought that maybe after I washed the sweatshirt, that maybe the thread would shrink a little bit and it would be more readable, but it wasn't. It didn't really work really great for me. But I do know that if you use the bigger fonts, okay, which I recommend, like I said, 2.5, 3 inches, then you would see it comes out really, really big, and you can see that it's much more clearer. Right. So, I only did one letter so you guys can see, but I wanted to show you guys the test of that. Okay. Now, the other type of embroidery design that's pretty popular as well is embossed embroidery. Okay. Now, embossed embroidery is usually used when you are embroidering on items that are very thick and fluffy. Examples of that would be like if you had a bath towel, okay, and the bath towel was really, really fluffy, or if you have a blanket that's very fluffy. Let's see, what else? Stockings, okay. You know how sometimes you'll have like certain stockings, and then the cuff of the stocking, it has like the white fur on it and stuff. Well, embossed files are usually like little frames that are embroidered, and then on top of that frame, a lot of times what people do is they'll put initials or they'll put names on them. Okay, here is an example of a bath towel that I did for my bathroom. Okay, and this is with an embossed file. Okay, now the embossed file is not the W, okay? It's everything that you see around this portion right here, okay? And I'm going to put this really close so that you guys can see. There you go. So that is the embossed portion. It's really the background, the layout that you see right here. All this white, and then it came with the framing. And then all I did was I just put the W right on top of the the embossed file. So that is really, really popular for stuff like, like I said, if you have like a really big blanket with a lot of fluff on it or something like that, then this is very, very popular. The reason why a lot of people like to do this is because what it does is it keeps all that fluff from burying your thread. Now, another technique that some people use is they use water soluble topping on top of their item, and then they embroider on it. That is an also good option. However, though, it really depends on the thickness of the material that you're using. Sometimes the water soluble topping will be good, but if you have something that is extremely thick and extremely fluffy, then you would want to use this type of style of embroidery, because what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that during time, as you wash your items and stuff like that, that the fluff, all this will never come up and hide your embroidery. Okay, so this is called emboss. Okay, the other type of embroidery designs, and we're up on number 6 right now, is something that I have been talking to you guys for the last couple of Fridays, which is patches. Okay, patches are very, very popular. A lot of people embroider these things. A lot of people like this style. They like it for various reasons. All right. First of all, they're very easy to create. All you have to do is just really have the frame, create the background and stuff like that, and the initials, heat and bond, very simple to do. And what it does is it gives customers and people the flexibility of actually putting this wherever they want. Okay, so a lot of times when you are embroidering right on an item, you have the challenge of making sure that you can hoop that item correctly and that you can keep it steady enough so that the machine can actually go ahead and stitch out the whole design. Okay, sometimes that can be very simple to do, but sometimes when it comes to certain particular items, such as like a backpack or something that's of a unique shape, to feed it into your machine and to actually hoop it correctly and everything and making sure that it's nice and steady, it can be quite of a challenge. Okay, a lot of times people use a lot of different techniques, such as sticky stabilizer, or what they'll do is they'll sometimes undo an item, like rip out the seams and stuff just to get it on a flat surface, so that way they can embroider it and then they resew it. There's a lot of different things. Like I said, sticky stabilizers. Sometimes people use double-sided tape. Sometimes people use clamps. Sometimes people will, even if you have a flatbed machine, sometimes they use embroidery risers. Okay, so that they can rise the machine, so that way they can kind of create a certain arm, an avenue underneath the machine, so that way they can put big tote bags in it. So like I said, sometimes depending on the item that you're trying to embroider, the shape can probably make it a little challenging. So these types of designs of different types of patches are pretty popular. And what's really great about patches is there's really no limit to the size a patch can be. You can make huge patches, okay? And you can take those patches and you can iron them on jackets, on book bags and stuff like that. Sometimes ironing a patch is a lot simpler than actually embroidering on an actual item. So it's just something, it's another alternative. There's lots of different shapes and sizes that you can do, so it's really a great, you know, a great embroidery style that a lot of people like to do and stuff. Okay. So the other thing, oh, and I forgot to take out my hat. Okay. You can do, that was number 7, and I'll be right back. I have a hat with that embroidery, and I have to show you guys. Oh my goodness. I forgot to bring it out. All right, here I am. See, I knew exactly where it was. Okay. Number 7, puff embroidery design style. Okay. Puff embroidery has been around for a long, long time. You see it a lot. It is very popular on hats. Okay. Here is an example of what puff embroidery is. Now, for puff embroidery, and I don't think I have it here, do I? Yes, I do. Okay. For puff embroidery, I'm a mess. And I was organized. Okay. What you would do with this type of embroidery is you would end up buying foam. Okay. Now, foam comes in different sizes. They have the different types of millimeter types. Okay. Some are thicker, some are thinner. And what you would do is when you would embroider, you would have to, it embroiders the outline. You put the foam underneath. And what happens is that the machine will embroider with the foam inside of your, between the stitches and your item. Okay. And what it does is it gives it a bumpy effect, as you can see. See how it looks like? It looks like it's raised, okay? And stuff. Now, this is really, really super popular on baseball hats, okay? You see it a lot. I don't know if you guys ever have like a baseball hat store by you. I know here in Northern Virginia, we have a store that I see it in the mall all the time. They're called Liz, and they sell fitted baseball hats. They have an embroidery machine right smack in the center of their shop. And all they do is they create the baseball hats and they embroider baseball hats all day. A lot of people like them with their initials and different designs. Now, puff embroidery is not just for baseball hats. A lot of times people think it is. No, it's not. I have seen puff embroidery done on sweatshirts. I have seen it done on jackets, jean jackets, leather jackets, and stuff like that. So it's very, very, very popular. However, though, one of the things to keep in mind, because you are putting foam, and foam comes in different colors and stuff like that, because you are using foam in between the stitches and your item, when you are using this type of embroidery style, you have to make sure that the design that you are embroidering is actually created for 3D buff embroidery. Okay. The simple reason is because the stitches have to be longer, and you can't just take a regular embroidery design and embroider, just put this on top of the shirt and then have the machine go over it. Okay. The design on the stitches on regular embroidery designs are really designed to stitch out very, very small. So when you are looking at in 3D puff embroidery design, these stitches are long stitches. As you can see, look at the W and the J. Okay. These stitches are really long. And the reason why they're long is because they do accommodate for the insert of the foam between the stitch to the hat. Okay. So this is the design has to say, like Oli says, does it have to be this? Yes, Oli, it does. It has to say that it's for 3D puff. Now, another thing too is, these designs that are made for 3D puff are pretty difficult to find. They're not very easy to find, okay? But if you have a digitizer and you do have a design that you like and you want certain portions of that design to include 3D puff embroidery, what you can always do is you can go to a digitizer, and all you have to do is just let them know that I have a design and I want to make that, I want to make certain portions of it 3D for 3D puff embroidery. I want to use foam in it. Then what they'll do is they will adjust the design so that in those spaces that you want to use the foam in, they can go ahead and accommodate it. And if you really think about it, that is one great way to really make your work stand out, because it's different. Okay. It's something that, it's not a lot of people do the 3D puff embroidery. You see it all the time with the hats and all that kind of stuff and everything. But when it comes to like shirts and clothing and stuff like that, you don't see it very often. And when you do see it, it pops. It really does pop and stuff. Okay. Now, the eighth thing that I wanted to share with you guys is cross stitch. Cross stitch is when you have the stitches that go in like X's. Okay, they look like X's. Now, I personally do not have a sample of that, but I do want to share my screen. Let me share my screen, okay? And I'm going to share my let's see. I want to share my Etsy on Etsy. We're gonna look on Etsy, okay? Let me see. I hope you guys can see me. Oh, I should have all right. Well, you know what? Okay. Nancy, you text me. I know I see my sister's on there. So, guys, if you guys don't see what I'm doing and stuff like that, let me know. Okay? All right. I am going to go in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do cross stitch embroidery design. Okay? All right. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about cross stitching. Okay. And I hope you guys can see, and I don't think you can, because I think what happened is it opened up a whole other, I think it opened up a whole other window. When it opens up a whole other window, I think I lose you guys. Okay. So anyway, all right, if you look over here on the thing and you see right here it says ABC, the alphabet and stuff, that's cross stitch. Okay, that's where the stitches are going cross and cross. And yeah, you don't see me. All right, let me see. I'm gonna do a stop sharing because I really want you guys to see this. Hold on, because this is it's different. Okay, and one of the things that I want to do is I want to share. I want to okay, hold on, let me do this. I'm going to share the whole screen so that way you guys can see exactly what. Oh, there you go. I have to click on there. I want to share. Okay, there you go. All right. So I'm going to okay, so there you go. All right. Hopefully you guys can see. Can you guys see? No. Okay, you can. Okay. This is cross stitch, okay? And let me scroll down so that way you guys can see. And if you notice right here, okay, see how it's like X'd out? It's like looks like a bunch of X's. They have different designs. Now, this is called a cross stitch, but that's the font of cross stitches. They do have designs that are cross stitch. Here is another example of that, okay, where it says home sweet home. Okay, but I don't think that's a design. I think they're selling fonts over there. Okay, they are. I'm trying to see if I can do a cross, if I could find. Here we go. Here's one. This is a cross stitch design, and this you can do this on your embroidery. Very unique. Okay, very, very, very unique. All right. So I hope you guys were able to see that. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing because I know this can get a little annoying here. Okay, I'm going to get that out. Okay, so I hope you guys were able to see that. But that's called cross stitch, and that's when the stitches make like little X's, okay, and they make little designs. Now, a lot of times people do these types of embroidery by hand, okay, but you can. I haven't seen that font. Love it. Oh, thank you. Early. Okay. But you can now use your embroidery machine to do this type of stitches. And you can buy embroidery files that have different types of, pictures with this type of stitch also. So it's very, very popular and stuff like that. So it's something to really make things different. Okay. The other one, okay, number 9 is Redwork embroidery. Now, Redwork embroidery, I don't have a sample of that. Oh, here we go again. I got to share the screen. All right, so I'm going to share the screen, guys. And I know, ooh, this is going to be like, ooh, all right, okay. So I'm going to hit here. All right, so I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to type. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to type Redwork embroidery designs, okay? This is Redwork embroidery designs, all right? Now, as you can see, it's one color. That is why some people like this. It's a design with just one color. It gives it an outline look. Okay, that's all it does. That's what Redwork embroidery style is. Okay, and I'm gonna get out of that and get this because I know this can get annoying and stuff. But I just wanted to make sure that you have an idea of what these different type of styles. There's just so many, okay, and stuff. Okay, now number 10. Okay, there is something called freestanding lace embroidery. Freestanding lace embroidery is when you use like water soluble stabilizer, okay? And all you're doing is stitching out a project. And now, example, Jan made this for me for my birthday, and this is a bookmark, and this is called freestanding lace, okay? Now, a lot of times people use these for bookmarks. They use these to make Christmas ornaments also. That's another way to do this, okay? Very, very pretty. A lot of times people use it to do like butterflies. They also do it for weddings, okay, to do wedding bells, decorative things and stuff. So it's another type of embroidery that's pretty popular and very, very easy to do. And it's really cute. They really make cute little gifts and stuff. Now 11. Okay, 11 is one of my friend's Miss Banks favorite, okay, which she says she's gonna get me to do it if it's the last thing she does. And I think she's gonna make me do it because I've already bought some files and I promise, I told myself I just gotta do it. I gotta nip it in the butt and get over this fear. In the hoop embroidery. Okay. Now, in the hoop embroidery is where you create a whole project inside of a hoop. Okay. For instance, she made me my own mug rug. Okay. She did this whole thing in the hoop. Okay. So what it is you have different steps that you do, and you can make a whole bunch of different items. So you can make little mug rugs, you can make coasters, you can actually make notebook covers, you can make purses, little wallets, ID holders. She also made me my I love this thing. I use it all the time. This is to hold my sanitizer, and look, it has a little clip on it, all of this. And I'll take this out so that you can see what it is. It's just, she did this whole thing in the hoop. Okay. And these things are pretty, pretty popular. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you why these are pretty neat. And one of the things, I haven't done it yet. And I'll tell you why I haven't done it yet either. But I know that this is really an awesome thing to do for the simple fact that you have the file, and what it is actually sewing a project for you. And because it's sewing the project for you, it's always going to sew it perfectly. Okay. So I am really a terrible sewer. Okay. I love my sewing guide. That is what keeps me to keep sewing straight, okay? Because I unfortunately am one of those that, I will get crooked and all that kind of stuff. And I will make one wallet and then I make the second wallet, and they're kind of the same, but you could tell I was a little off sometimes. Sometimes I get better, sometimes I get worse, whatever. Okay. But with the in the hoop, what it is you get an embroidery file, and sometimes it's not just one file. I think you get like a series of files, okay? Because when I tried it once, that's what I got. I got a series of file. And then what it is with every type of stitch, you're putting the item together, right? So it's sewing things, and then sometimes you got to cut around it and all that kind of stuff. But you end up with a product at the end. And what ends up happening is that your product always ends up being perfect. Okay. They're very, very popular. A lot of times people are even creating dolls little dolls, little snuggie dolls for babies, and in the hoop, they're creating little blankets. They're creating towel toppers, for in the hoop projects. It's just so many different things. So if you go to some of these embroidery websites and you type ITH, which is for abbreviation for in the hoop, you're going to see a whole bunch of different projects. Some people even use that to create their quilt blocks, and they create Christmas tree skirts, they create placement mats. There's just so many things out there. So it is very, very, very popular. Okay. The other type of embroidery style is called ripple. Okay. Now ripple is, and I have a sample of that. Where is it? Okay, there it is. This is ripple. It's very, what it is it's very similar to sketch embroidery, but for some reason they call it ripple. And what it is, usually it's usually like very few colors. Sometimes it's not more than three colors in those designs. Okay, it's kind of like when you look at the Redwork embroidery. Redwork embroidery is always like one solid color. Okay, where to me it's like when you get those type of designs, usually what you'll do is you'll look at the color of your fabric and then the color of the thread. You're going to want it to be something to make that design pop. Well, it's kind of like the same with the ripple embroidery. Okay, you're gonna want to make it pop. Okay, so these are dinner napkins that I made for a friend. This was just me playing around with that type of style of embroidery, and I kind of liked it. I thought it was pretty cute. But this towel, I mean, not the towel, but the napkin. Sometimes, when you get damaged blanks or stuff like that, I never throw them out because that becomes my test. Okay. So just a little hint, if you get damaged blanks and stuff like that, because it does happen. Okay. All you do is just save them. And then if you have a design that you want to test out on, then use those blanks for that. That's what I do. Okay. Anyway. All right. So we're down to the last three. I'm making pretty good time because it's only 37 minutes. So that means I have some time to talk with you guys. Okay. So the 13 one is creating quilting blocks embroidery. Okay. The quilting blocks is oh boy, here we go. We're gonna have to go back to Etsy. Here we go. Woo, back to the ride. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay, so here we go. Let me do quilting embroidery designs. All right, here we go. This is what I am talking about. Okay. Now, look at these designs. It comes in all these different sizes. So what ends up happening is that you can create quilts using these types of embroidery files. Okay. Now, sometimes a lot of people use templates to create these things. I know my sister, she bought like a whole bunch of quilting templates, and she uses that to quilt. And quilting is pretty popular when it comes to placements, making blankets and stuff like that, and even bags. A lot of times people like to quilt bags and stuff like that. But if you were to search quilting embroidery files, as you can see, and go back, as you can see, look at all these, look at this. This is cute. Oh, it even shows, look at that, there's a video on how it actually quilts. And this is a cute one and very inexpensive. Look at that. They want that's pretty cute. 193, and that's a really cute design. Oh, I like that. That looks cute. That looks really cute. That would be really cute. That would look cute I like that design. I don't know if you guys saw that, but anyway, but that would look really cute if you created a you know, a sewing mat for your sewing machine and you use that one that I just saw, that quilt template. That would look cute. That would really do look cute. So anyway, quilting blocks. So that's another embroidery style that you can do on your embroidery machine, okay, and stuff. The 14th, which is the last one that I have, and I know I went through them kind of quick and all that kind of stuff, but you know, I'll go through your chats and stuff and answer any questions and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I kind of like this topic because when I was looking at all these different ways and styles of embroidery, I was like, this is really what, you know, if you look at some of these designs, this is what can make you pop. You know, this is what can really make your work very unique, you know, and stuff. But anyway, the 14th, mo- um, monograms, you know, or I hope initials, okay? Putting the initials, because I don't know if I'm saying mammograms or mono. Y'all know what I'm talking about, initials, okay? You know, my Spanish is all messed up, okay? Let me see, where is this? Oh, and I have more examples of embroidery. Look, see, this is another one of sketch. Did I show you guys this? Okay, that is cute. Has anyone tried the fringe embroidery? Yes, Nancy, I tried it. Here's the fringe. Did you come in late? Here's the fringe. This is fringe embroidery. Cute. Just don't do the small fonts. Just don't do the small fonts. Now, going back to initials. Initials. Do I have initials? Oh shoot, I don't think I do. Okay. All right. Well, no, I have it on patches. Okay, hold on. Well, let me show you. Give me a minute here. I'm a mess here. Did I put my stuff in here? All right, hold on. Let me see. Did I put it in here? Okay, hold on a minute, guys. Oh, here's another example of sketch embroidery. Look at this. Ain't that cute? There's a lot of different ones. See, I had bought a whole bunch of stuff to show you guys, and then I'm not, you know, but I just went through them so fast, you know. So anyway, but yeah, this is sketch embroidery. And then you know what? I want you guys to take a look at this really, really close. Look at the inside of the W. Look at those stars. Isn't that cute? That is really, really pretty and unique. And this is what I'm talking about when you are looking at different embroidery styles, because this is the type of work that really makes you pop, makes it different, okay? And stuff. Because you know, it's just me, you know, but I just love the uniqueness of it. Here is another one. Look at the N. See the style that's in that N? Really, really cute. It's different. It's just really, really different. You don't, it's, you know, something to make it pop. Okay, all right. So it's not here. Okay, hold on. I will find the monograms. Hold on. Okay, all right. Here we go. Monogram. Okay, I know I did it on patches. All right, monograms. Okay, there are different, and monograms is the initials. All right. Now, for those of you guys that don't know about monograms, because I'm gonna tell you something I didn't know. Okay, because I know that the initials are very, very popular down in the South, you know, at certain areas. Okay. People love having their initials on it. I just wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't a thing for me, or I didn't see it around where I was. But, you know, I was in, you know, I'm a New Yorker, you know, and, you know, a New Yorican. So it wasn't a thing for us, okay, or it wasn't for my family, you know, I didn't see it around. But when I started to do the initials, okay, you know, I always thought that it was, you know, how you write your name, that it would be the first name, you know, the first initial, the middle initial, and the last initial, right? Now, if you notice the way that they do these initials, the middle initial is usually the big one, right? So for those of you guys that don't know, because I know I didn't know, I had to actually learn this. It's usually the initial of the first name, Then it's the last name, okay? Because the last name is the big initial, all right? And then the other initial is the middle name, okay? So it's going to be um first name, middle name, the last name's in the middle. So for those of you guys that don't know, that's usually how it is. I gotta tell you, I didn't know. I had no idea. I had to Google it, okay, because I had a customer that wanted to get these, monograms names, and I was like, okay, so I always do sample designs and I give it to the customer and I go, this is how it's gonna look. And they were like, oh, you have to switch the letters. And I was like, yeah, but your last name is the last letter. And then she was like, no. And then I was like, oh, okay. So then I Googled it because I was like, am I getting this all wrong? And yes, I did. I got it all wrong. So I was like, oh, so thank goodness. And I tell you, sometimes you learn from from the folks, that you serve. Sometimes you learn from them. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So thank God thank God that I do that I always show the customer what a design's going to look like. Because could you imagine if I just said, okay, no problem, I would have embroidered it, I would have jacked that one up, that would have been a mess. Okay. So anyway, but just so that you guys know. So that's why, like with this initial, okay, these are my initials. So it's Jeanette Mercado, that's my maiden name, Mercado. It starts with an M, and then Woods is my married name. So that's why. So it's like, that's how I have that. Same thing like with Nancy, and stuff, because Nancy got Nancy and then Mercado and Peter. So that's how our initials work out and stuff like that. So, just wanted to share that just in case you guys didn't know and stuff like that. So, yeah, monograms are very, very popular. They come in different styles galore. And they're very, very popular. They're popular on bags. They're popular on hats. People like them on their sweaters. People even, some people will even ask you to embroider them on business, shirts. The white shirts for men and stuff. Sometimes they like to have their initials embroidered on the cuff of their shirt. People sometimes embroider their initials on their socks. Sometimes I've seen people do it on slippers, towels. Okay. People embroider initials on towels, bath towels and all that kind of stuff. You see it in the bathrobes, very popular on the bathrobes as well. Let's see where else. You see it on bedspreads, pillowcases is another big one that's pretty popular. I mean, I see it all over the place. Duffel bags, backpacks. I think I said backpacks. Let me see where else. I mean, it's very, very popular. A lot of times people do. And what's really great about the monograms and stuff? What's really cool about these is that there's different ways you can do it. Like for instance, here you can see I did it on a patch, right? Sometimes you don't have to do it on a patch. They have the different types of monograms that also do applique. Okay. And you know what? I will show you the applique. Let me launch in Brilliance, and I can show you some of the styles that I have in a monogram. So that way, let's see, do I have it? Did it launch? And so I can show that to you guys and stuff. And let me get some of this stuff out of the way, because I'm not going to go back to did I launch in Brilliance? Yeah, I have in Brilliance. So let me share my screen. Stop the share screens. Now I'm going to share, and I'm actually going to share in Brilliance with you guys, because I want to show you guys the monograms. Let me see the window. There you go. There you go. All right. Let me see. You guys see it? Okay. Yes, you do. All right. So let me make it big on my end. So I'm going to show you. All right. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to show you guys There are so many different styles. There are so many different styles, okay? Now, a lot of times I get them from Stitchtopia. They have so many, but if you were to go ahead and you would do a search on even on Etsy and look up monograms, you're gonna find so many of them. So here is one that is my favorite, and this is the scalp one, okay? And this is really cool because you get to you know how it has that little scalp thing. So the way that you would do that, you do small initial, big, and let me see, like that. See how, okay, now the reason why you see that I put like a, oh, what am I gonna say? The equal sign, okay? Now, the way that Stitchtopia does, it has like this little code thing, right? So it says, you know, the first one, which is gonna be the circle, right? It's gonna tell you to make it into a small, you gotta type in the small letter, okay? And I'll do it again. Like let's say I'm gonna do my sisters, right? It would be small n, capital P, and then the equal sign for the M. So that's how my sisters would look. And I kind of like hers better. Hers look prettier, you know. It's all right. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, her initials look cuter than mine. Anyway, so as you can see how it looks like a little circle. So I love this one. I think this is like really, really cute. And you know what? Let me make this a little bigger because I want you guys to also see something too. As you see the way this style works, it actually has a stitch on top of the satin stitch, which to me gives it that extra, you know? So I love that. I really do because I think that is crisp. It really gives it a clean, cute finish. Love it. This is one of my favorites. It really, really, truly is, and stuff. Now let me show you other styles that are out there too when it comes to the monogram. And I know I'm skipping kind of quick and stuff. So here's another one. As you can see, most of mine come from Stitchtopia because they're like really good. But this is just I think it's 2 letters, something like that. So let me see. So it would have to be, screw that one. This one's not good. Okay, let me not show you guys this one. Here's another one. This is a cute set too. Okay, but I think you have to, I have to get the code for this. Let me see, JW. See, this is cute, but I think this is the style. I don't think it has like a middle one and stuff like that, but it's like and then there's other ones out there. Oh, see, you know, when you want to find something real quick, that's when you never find it. I tell you, it happens all the time. Ugh. Okay, all right. So I got the circle one. Oh, and here's this one. This one's cute too. This is a 2-letter. Okay, but I don't like the way that came out. But I think the way this is, it would go small J, big W. No? Oh, then maybe. Okay, so I gotta play with this to see. There you go. So maybe it's big J. There you go. Okay, so big capital and then small, and then you get that circle effect. So I bet you if I do Nancy's, it'll come out better. Let me see. It would be big, small. Yeah, see, her initials are nicer. See, it has that more circle effect. But let me get out of here though, because I want to make sure you guys could see that. I hope you guys, I'm having trouble with letter code. Tried it, but it's not easy. And so, okay, I will get to your questions. Let me get out of here. Let me get back in. But I wanted to show you. So I'm just gonna list them again. Okay, all 14 of the different types of embroidery styles that are out there. Okay, all right. So we have embroidery fill designs. We have appliques. We have sketch. We got fringe. We got embossed. We got patches. We got puff embroidery. We have cross stitch. We got redwork. We got freestanding lace. We got in the hoop. We got ripple. you got quilting blocks, and you got your monograms. So those are 14 different styles. And you know what? I got a feeling there's more, okay? But it's just that those were the 14 that I found, okay? So I am going to hit the chat box right now and say hi to you guys and, just chat with you guys for a little bit. Because like I said, Fred, 5 minutes. Okay. Well, hard stop today because I promised Fred that I was going to enjoy a nice bottle of wine with him by the fire pit tonight because the weather's really, really nice. And Mello is probably out there already hanging out with him and stuff. So, I really do want to spend some time with him because we've been so busy and stuff. So yeah, I want to spend some alone time with my hubby. So, anyways, all right. So I'm gonna go down and I want to say hi to all you guys. Hey Robin, Debbie, Sassy. Hey Trisha, how you doing? Let's see. Hey Judy, how are you? Hey Norma. Happy Friday. Hey Susan, how you doing? Hey Barb. Hey Sweet Rose. Hey Crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing, girl? Hey Classy and Caffeinated. I like that. That's kind of cute. Salty Gravy, how you doing? Hey Miss Max. Hey Marvin, how you doing? I mean, Marlon. Hey girl for real, how you doing? Hey Barb from Custom Made. Hey Alicia. Hey Shirley, Eartha. Hey Joanne. I see Jenny. Hey Deborah. Let's see. That's a lot of stitches. Yeah. Eartha loves applique designs. A lot of people do because I think applique designs, to me though, sometimes this is one thing that I think about. And let me know if you guys agree or disagree. But a lot of times with embroidery field designs, right? You have all these stitches. So, of course, it's going to take a long time for you to stitch that out, right? Applique stitches, they say that it doesn't take a long time to do applique, okay? Because it's not all stitches. Some of the design of the applique is filled with fabric or embroidery and stuff like that. However, though, okay, when I am doing designs like this, because one of the things that I say is it depends on the design you pick, the applique design you pick. Because if you have something like this, okay, and I hear Mello, he's here. Oh, how you doing, Mello? Hi. And here is Mello, everyone. And he is wearing a dog comb because he messed up his leg. You want to say hi, Mello? Hey, Mello. Yeah, he messed up his leg. He had a little skin infection. So he has his little doggy comb right now. So that way he doesn't mess with his skin infection and stuff like that. But he's gonna get better, right, Boo Boo? All right. So anyway, Mello yes, Boo Boo, I see you. Okay. So anyway, guys, the thing is, when you have an applique, because we're talking appliques, okay? You believe that? Mm-hmm. So the appliques, if you have a lot of different sections that you have to cut fabric, that's a lot of times that you're taking the design, you're taking it off the machine, and then you're cutting around the fabric, you're putting it back in, then you're taking it off, you're putting it back in. That to me is time, okay? So sometimes, depending, my whole thing is depending on the applique design, sometimes it may not be the time saver that you might think it is, right? So, it's just could be not, I don't know, so anyway, but that's just how I kind of think about it, Hey, Miss Banks, how you doing? Oh, and Miss Banks, yes. Want to remind you guys, next Saturday, they have the original Sewing and Quilt Expo. I know me and Miss Banks are going to be there. One of the things that I saw too, make sure that if you are planning on going, go online and get your tickets. They're about like, I think they're like $4 to $5 cheaper. Okay. So my whole thing is just get, I would just get the tickets online if you're planning on going and stuff like that. That way, you save that extra bucks. And then, you could spend those extra bucks that you save when you go there, because I know that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So just want to let you guys know. And Miss Banks, I will be in touch with you and stuff, because I know me and Miss Banks will be going there, because I'm going to be following her, because she is the Sewing and Quilt Expo Pro. Okay, so she knows her way around that. So I'm going to be following her and following her lead and stuff like that. And I will post it on Facebook where I am and stuff like that, because I'm thinking maybe we'll be there. We're probably going to be spending the whole day there hanging out, and maybe we can all have lunch or something like that. So, just if any of you guys are coming out there, and stuff, just stay with your phones and look on Facebook, and I'll post where we're at and stuff. Maybe we can all have lunch together or something. So, just something that I wanted to mention out there. Hey, Marlene, how you doing? Oh, she just landed in Cancun. Girl, enjoy Mexico. Hey, Linda, how are you doing? Let's see. Hey, Barbara, can Marlene be used with that train pattern? I don't know what Meyer layer is, Barb. Don't know what that is. That train pattern was just a embroidery file that I purchased, and it says sketch embroidery, and I kind of liked it because it wasn't a filled embroidery. So I did see that it was it just didn't, it looked like it wasn't that many stitches. So a lot of times that's the other thing too. When you're doing a lot of embroidery, you always really got to look at that embroidery file, because we're talking thousands and thousands of stitches. Okay. So sometimes an embroidery file can be really small, which is why probably with embroiderers, sketch designs, Redwork, Ripple, those embroidery designs that have very, fewer stitches are pretty popular, because you're not standing there and, at the machine all day watching it, because sometimes those embroidery fill designs can, sometimes take about more than an hour to embroider. Okay. And also sometimes they're a little harder to embroider because of the density, because some of these designs can be so dense. And when the designs are dense, you really have to pay attention to the type of needle you're using, the type of fabric that you're embroidering on. And you also have to look at the type of stabilizer that you're using and how much of that stabilizer that you're using. Okay. Because sometimes you may have to use more than one sheet, to do embroidery filled embroidery design, because you really want to make sure that your fabric and is stable, and you also want to make sure that you prevent puckering. Okay, because a lot of times when you have puckering, it's usually because you have embroidery filled designs, and sometimes the design is a little too dense for the fabric that you are embroidering on. Okay, so I know I said a mouthful right there. Hey, Cracky said, I use sketching for most of my kid embroidery designs. Yes, and very, very popular. They're very popular because I feel like they're really quick and easy. Oh, look at that. Robin, she made a zipper bag with Fringe flowers and used dissolvable bobbin thread. Made it so much easier. Oh, I never heard of dissolvable bobbin thread. See, that's what I like. You guys learn from me. I learn from you too. I have to look that up, Robin, because I've never heard of that type of bobbin thread. That is new and stuff. Let's see. Hey, Susan, how are you? Oh, yes. Thank you, girl, for you. Hey, guys, I hope you liked the video. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked all the information that I gave you guys. I appreciate that and stuff. It really helps the channel a lot and stuff. I am trying to grow this channel as much as possible, and I am trying to teach more and stuff like that. And I do have a list of more videos that I want to put out there. So if you're new and stuff like that, please consider subscribing. That would really help and stuff. And at the same time, I get to share information with you guys and stuff. So, hey, Annette, how are you doing? Hey, Nancy. Hey, Irma. Hey, Veronica. And if you guys don't know, my sister is on the chat, and she is Gifts HQ. She goes live every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so she does really, really good good videos and stuff like that. So hope you guys can join her and stuff like that. She's pretty awesome. And so she's a lot better with the camera than I am. I'll tell you that too. Hey, Eartha, I love puff embroidery. Did a hat for my son, and I did it on a patch, and I sewed it onto the hat. That's a really good idea, Eartha. I did not think about doing that, doing puff embroidering on an actual patch. I like that idea. That's smart. I really like that idea. I have seen it, like I said, I've seen it on jackets, and I've seen it on sweatshirts and stuff, and I've even seen it on bags. But I never thought of just embroidering that on an actual patch. Love that idea. That is pretty cool. And stuff. Hey, Annette. Oh, lace embroidery for the first time today, and put it on a Christmas tree balls to decorate them. It came out nice. Want to do more. Yep, lace embroidery, like this. I mean, these are really nice and extremely popular. There's a lot of patterns out there too for free lace embroiderings and stuff. Really cute and stuff. Very, very popular. Very, very popular. Let me see. Ollie says, does it have to be designed to use puff? Yes, Ollie, it does. It really does. It does. Because you are adding an extra layer between the stitch and the fabric, the material, okay? So you have to make sure that that stitch is long enough to accommodate that extra room that it needs. So what I would recommend doing is, if you have a design that you like and you want to create that into a puff embroidery puff design, so that you can put the 3D puff in there, I would speak to a digitizer, because digitizers can make those adjustments for you. Okay, can you do puff embroidery on the SC 1900? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Puff embroidery is really the same, Annette, like any type of embroidery. It's the same thing. Like if you're doing applique, you can do this on an SC 1900. All it is, if you were to look at the video, I did a video on the channel called Puff Embroidery. I show you the exact process on how I did it, okay? The same process that I did, you do it right on your machine. You can do it, yes. Hey, Evelyn, how you doing? Let's see. Try maxing it, and then share. Nancy's trying to help me. See, she lives in Florida. I live in New York. Sometimes I wish, because she is more, I think her and her husband are more tech savvy than I am. My stuff is just raw, it's just raw. And even when you watch my videos and I'm showing you guys how to do it, but I do give you guys the warning and say, okay, guys, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can go to the embroidery machine. Let's watch this stitch out. So I just, tell you exactly, but she's pretty good on the camera and all that kind of stuff. She's got all the angles and everything. Oh, Robin said her first embroidery on the SC 1900 was cross stitch strawberry, and she put it on a tea towel. And we said cross stitch is really, really popular. I have a girlfriend, Kathy, and she has something in her living room, and she did a cross stitch, but her cross stitch was done by hand. It was not done by machine embroidery, and it was something that she did years ago. It's a beautiful piece of artwork that she did, and she had it framed in her living room. But you know, because she kept asking me, does your machine do cross stitch? And I was like, oh, I don't know, you know. But then as I ended up, you know, getting more into embroidery and finding out about embroidery, I ended up finding out that you can buy the designs in cross stitch. You just have to actually search cross stitch embroidery files, or, you know, cross stitch home embroidery file, or whatever design you're looking for, and it will, you know, and you can sometimes find some beautiful designs out there, you know, that are in the cross stitch format and stuff. But it's a beautiful, beautiful font. um to me, red work is boring. Hey, Sandra, and I got that. It is, because it is very simple. That is for sure. It's very, very simple. But Sandra, one of the things that I look at is, when I first look at the design, I kind of, I understand exactly where you're coming from, because it looks like it's just one color of a stitch just going around. But this is what goes through my mind, okay? If you have something like, you know, the let's say you were to pick like a dark fabric like this, right? And you know what I was thinking, Sandra? If you get like something like metallic thread, right? Metallic thread is like super shiny, okay? And you were to do that in metallic thread, I think that design would pop. Okay. So I understand what you're saying, that it looks boring, and I got that. And I know what you mean, because it looks very plain. It doesn't, you know, when you looking at the file, it doesn't look like anything like, it's okay. But I got a feeling that if you were to take that design and you put it on the right material and you use the right thread, you can make that baby pop. You can make it pop and look really, really nice. Just an idea and stuff. And you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll try it. I'm gonna try it, probably, because I'm thinking, Sandra, I was thinking of doing it like on metallic thread, on maybe like a black uh dinner napkin, or maybe a black kitchen towel, because I bought a pack of black kitchen towels, because I was thinking maybe I could do like Halloween towels and stuff like that. But as you can see, we're already in September. Well, I still have time. I guess I could do it and stuff like that. But sometimes I just run out of time, because I get a lot of orders that come in and stuff, and then I don't have time and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, baby boy, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. And stuff. Yeah, but you know, it's just an idea. I think redwood, you know, you know, I understand what you're saying. You look at it, it looks a little boring and stuff like that, but you can make that, you can make it pop. Just gotta get creative. You just gotta get creative and stuff. Or another thread too, instead of metallic thread, think about this. You know how we you know, I call it the multicolor thread. I know it's called vegetable or Varega thread. And this is a thread. I'll show you the thread. I got the thread somewhere right here. Do you know where the thread is? Well, I got thread right here. Hold on. It's the thread that has the different colors, right, Mello? All right, Mello. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta pull it out, because I know I have them here. You know, you can never find things when you want them right away. It happens all the time. All right, here we go. Here's a sample. Okay, it's not the one that I wanted to show you guys, but that's okay. Let me see. Yeah, well, this will do. Okay. Now, what I'm talking about when I say Viagra, not Viagra, well, not Viagra, what is it? Vera multicolored thread. Okay, that's what we're gonna call it, because that's, you know, y'all know my pronunciation is like off the charts. Okay, look at this thread. Okay, as you can see, this is thread that is not just one solid color. This is it's like a purple with a white on it. So I'm thinking with the redwood design, maybe this will work. This, you know, it's good to give it a shot. Now, of course, I'm going to try it on some scrap fabric, because I don't want to mess up my good stuff. You know what I mean? But this would probably work. So I'm kind of like, you know. But like I said, you just got to get creative and see if you can make things pop and stuff. Let's see. Oh, Olive, in the hoop is really fun. I gotta get it. Miss Banks is all over on me on this. And she says she is gonna get me addicted to in the hoop. And I'm gonna tell you, this is the thing with the in the hoop projects that I don't like. The thing is that you got to really print out all those directions. All right. And when you print out in the hoop directions, you're not talking about a page. Okay. You're probably talking about 6, 7, 8, 10 pages. All right. And then you have to read all that stuff. I'm not a great reader. Okay. I'm not into the reading thing. I love audio books. I listen to my audio books all the time. I'm a visual learner. I like watching documentaries and all that kind of stuff. That's how I like to learn. Now, for me to read a book, it's like, ugh, it sucks. Okay. Which is, what's really funny too is that I'm part of the book club where I live. Okay. And if I can't get that audio book, then I do, I'm a comment writer. And for those of you that don't know what a comment writer is, okay, is I show up at the book club and I will go around and, I grab my glass of wine. I say hi to everybody. I go, hey, how you doing? This and that. And I hope none of them are watching this video, because if they are, then they're going to be like, we know what you do now. Okay. So anyway, I'll walk around the room and then I'll just say, oh, so what did you think about the book? And then when I find someone that read the book, then I'll sit next to them and I'll wait for them to make a comment. And then I'll come on and go, you know what? I felt the same way. I really did. I thought that was fascinating and stuff like that. And then I made the comment for the night. And then nobody asks me any more questions about the book, and I thank God nobody asks about questions of the book. Or I'll turn the question around. They'll say, well, Jeanette, what did you think about that scene? I found that very interesting, but what are your thoughts? And then I get away with it, and stuff. But and they're a great group of ladies. I love hanging out with them, love them all and stuff like that. But the thing is, I hate reading. I'm not a reader. I'm just not. So when it comes to in the hoop projects, you get all these pages that you got to read and all that kind of stuff and everything. And it's like, I kind of lose it, and then I kind of start getting all like frazzled, and I'm like, oh God, I'm not going to get this and stuff. So I don't know. I might have to get with somebody and say, all right, let me sit down with you and let me go through that. Now, another thing that I have been doing though is I noticed that some of these in the hoop files come with a video. So I'm going to start looking for those, because if I can find one that actually has the video where they show the steps and I could follow along with the paper, then that'll probably work for me, a lot better. But that is really the reason why I kind of like really shy away from the in the hoop projects. I mean, I would love to be able to make stuff like what Miss Banks made for me. I would love to be able to do that. But because I just can't get over that hump of just all that paper and stuff like that, I feel like I kind of like lose it and stuff, and I'd just be like, and then I don't want to do it. I like this to be simple, quick, and I'm a visual learner, so I don't know. It's just me, okay? So that's how it is. Yeah, but a lot of people do love the in the hoop projects, and I see their projects all the time. They're always flawless. And they should be flawless, because the thing is, it's the same stitch out all the time. So, like I said, no one's sewing crooked or anything. So I know it looks really cool. So, I gotta, get there. You can make a small bag. I know. I think, what I'll probably do is I'll put Nancy to read the thing when I go visit her in Florida and stuff like that. Let me see. Let me go down. Come on, Jeanette, jump in. You'll like the in the hoop. I'm gonna have to do it. I am. I got a feeling all you guys are gonna end up pushing me to do that and stuff. Let's see. Hey, Love and Live Show, how you doing? And stuff. I am gonna have to start to go a little faster, because remember, I told Fred that I was going to spend time with him tonight, and it's already 9:15, so I have to go a little faster and stuff like that. Let's see. Love the quilt, the templates. Let me see. Hey, Nana, how are you doing? Hey, Jenny, how are you? I think we're good. I think we're good. Yep. Debbie says monograms are very popular in the South. Couple wedding monograms also. Yep. They are. They really are. Hey, Harmony, how's my girl? How you doing? Let's see. Gonna watch this all over again. So much info. Love it. Oh, Annette, I'm glad. I'm really glad that I'm helping you guys out. I really am. And stuff. See. I want to try to make sure that I have everyone, that I have everybody over here. Let me see. All right, guys. I am going to have to say goodnight to you guys because seriously, I do. I want to spend some time with my buddy, with my buddy, my hubby, and oh my goodness. Well, I can see that we're gonna be out in the in the fire, and Mello's gonna be asleep. So looks like he's knocked out and stuff. Hey, Emmanuel, how you doing? Hey, Lakeisha and stuff. Hey, Gail. I like to say hi to everybody and stuff. Hey, Eve, how are you? Let me see. Hey, Veronica, can you do the administrative side of the business? I can't. How you do inventory? Okay. Veronica, I could talk about how I do it. The thing is, though, I don't feel comfortable about the tax side because I am not an accountant or a tax attorney and stuff like that. I actually have a good friend of mine. He's a tax attorney. He does all of my taxes for my business and all that kind of stuff. So, he kind of keeps me straight, and I can tell you things that I've done, and what works for me. But I have no problem. I can share on how I do that and all my inventory and stuff like that. But yeah, I can do that. Veronica. I can talk about how I done it and even share some of the mistakes that I've made, some of the boo-boos that way you guys can learn about some of the things, little processes, business processes that I've tried that didn't work out, like and then you find out the hard way that maybe there is a reason why you see people use certain things, because you learn from trial and error, like for instance, I'll give you an example of this real quick. Okay. I used to be one of those that I would package all my orders and then I would go to the post office and I would stand online. Okay. Not knowing that if I just went on Etsy and I purchased my label, that I could actually just print the label out and the label would have cost me cheaper than if I had bought it over the counter. I was paying full price over the counter. Okay. And I wouldn't be wasting a whole hour in the post office standing online because the line was always long. Okay. So I was always the one that was there. They close at 5:00. I would be there at 4:30 because I had to get on that line. And then I would be standing on that line all that time. And now that I know what I know, it's like now I get my shipping labels a lot cheaper. I package my own stuff. And when I go to the post office, I'm not even standing in line because all my stuff is already has labels on it. So all I have to do is just put it to the area where you can just go and drop off everything and then they'll process the rest. So I would just go in my bags and I'll drop off the stuff and then come back. So, but Veronica, you know what? I thank you for the idea. I appreciate that because I'm going to go ahead and maybe that's what I'm going to do. Next Friday, let's talk business. We're going to talk about business and I'll talk about the business processes that work for me, the lessons that I learned, and to help you guys out. Okay. But I can't really do the tax advice thing, because like I said, every state is different. And what works for me may not be the right situation for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I can just tell you from my experience, okay? And stuff, and the stuff that I use and all that kind of stuff, and where I went to get help and information and all that kind of stuff. So I have no problem sharing all of that with you guys. Hey, MG Designs. Hey, Linda Gray. Eve, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And stuff. Hey, Sandra, you're right about the metallic thread. Yep, and slow down that machine, Sandra, when it comes to the metallic thread. Slow it down. Yep, he's waiting. I have got to go. Guys, if I didn't say hi to you guys, I am so sorry. let me see. But like I said, if you have questions or stuff like that, put it in the comments below on the video. If you need help with stuff, reach out to me. I have the Facebook group that's called Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures. I also, you can face message me and stuff like that. A couple of you guys I have no problem videotaping, video with you guys, helping you guys out, answering questions, emailing. A lot of times some of you guys are like, oh, I don't want to bother you. No, bother me. It's okay. I will answer your questions when I have the time. Don't worry about it. I'm here to help you. I don't mind helping you. I actually enjoy it. I actually love it because, like I said, just like now, I just learned about dissolvable bobbin thread. Never heard of that before. So just like you guys learn from me, I also learn from you. And that's what I kind of like about our little community is that, we kind of help each other out to, we share information, nobody holds back anything. Everybody likes to share and help each other out. So that way we can all just enjoy our craft and get better and, do our thing. Okay. So guys, I am so sorry that I have to really leave earlier than usually. I know I usually talk a lot, but I really do want to spend some time with Fred because I know he's got the fire going. And yeah, I want to spend some a long time with my hubby. Okay. So I will talk to you guys later. Love you guys all. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for all the support for the channel and everything like that. And if you liked the video and the information I gave you, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I do embroidery happy hour every Friday, 8 o'clock. And I also put instructional videos on the channel. So I will talk to you guys later. Please be careful. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye. Appreciate you guys. Bye.